Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Here again, a pleasure to start my topic. My topic is about reality of man. Have you ever seen a small baby when it's born? You see the baby, how much it needs of assistance. It's totally dependent on other people. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates a person. Why? The question is why? Because Allah wants him to remember his origins. And he can't turn by himself. He wets his nappy. He does number 2 in his nappy. And he can't clean himself until his mother comes and take that nappy off. He wants to drink. He's angry. And he can't move or drink until his mother feeds him. And then after a while, that the same little baby become older and older. And then he starts thinking that he is something special. And then he forgets his origins. And he starts to think that he is it a man. Forgetting his origin. And the older he gets, the more independent that he regards himself. And when he starts going to the gym and pumping some irons, and he starts talking horse growth hormones, so he bloats. After a while, he thinks that he is something really special, very special, and he is something like very special. It comes and you can't see him. Someday somewhere like this you won't find him. He's on the street with a t-shirt on, and then at times come that the very same person becomes old and he becomes bent back. If he reaches that age and he walks with a stick, and he wakes up in the morning, all his bones hurt. And all those bones hurt, and then at times come that he becomes sick, and can't move without assistance again. Remember, when he's born, he was unable. He needs an assistance. And when he gets older, and he needs assistance again. Why? Because Allah made him dependent, then Allah made him independent, and then at age came that Allah made him dependent again. And then he lies up on his bed and he can't move, and Malakul Maut, angel of the death, is sitting up on his head, and he is waiting to take out his ruh, his soul. He is waiting. He sees it. Nobody around him sees it. And he sees the reality. It is not easy to die, but the reality is that everybody here, me, you, and millions who come before us, come and they live this dunya. If you go into the graveyard and you see on the tombstone of graveyard, you should visit the graveyard because it reminds you of the dead. Look at the tombstone. It will say 1835, 1845. It shows that these people spend more time in the grave, under the earth, than upon it. And then at times come, he's laying in his bed, and the Malakul Maut, angel of the death, comes and give him. And Allah give him, if he is being a good person in his life, Allah give him success to recite the kalima. And if not, then leaves this dunya, and that very same person, now they give him a bath, and he can't bath himself anymore. They give him a bath, and the water shouldn't be too hot nor should it be too cold, because he feels it. And then that person, imagine, it is because it is going to happen to every single of us. If to every single one, that is sometimes we forget, so we dilute with this dunya and we forget. A time comes that they dig a ditch 6 feet deep and they put you in it, and then they put the sand over you. And you are all by yourself. Imagine it. Because as I said, it's going to happen to every single person. And then the only thing which will remain with you in that grave is your good action. And the only thing you will remain with good action. Your muscle, your car, your wife, your children, everything will remain behind. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, only one thing will remain with you. And that is good actions. And if you have good actions, they will save you. It will save you. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that the grave is a garden from the gardens of Jannah. When a person is placed in that grave, the grave says to that person, out of all the people walking on the face of this earth, you were the most beloved to me. The grave says, you were the most beloved to me. And you see how, and now you have to come to me. You will see how I deal with you, how I encounter you. If you were a good person, it opens as far as the eyes can see. The windows of Jannah will be open. And then there will be the other person who lived his life, because you either go to Jannah or you either go to Jahannam, who had lived his life, but he did whatever he wanted. He womanized, he wined, he dined. And he actually believed that he is going to get 50. And when he gets 50, he do Hajj, he go to masjid, he live a birth, but there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee, and he is put his grave all by himself. Nobody with him. And the grave will say to him, out of all the people walking on the face of this earth, you were the most despised in my eyes. You were the most despicable person in my eyes. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, it will squeeze him. It will squeeze him. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, thrusted his finger in one to the other, and then he said, his ropes will go into each other like, this is how it will squeeze. And the only thing which will suffice and safeguard you on that day is your actions. Your good actions. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, a person, now you look at that, we become independent. And we think we are something special, when the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, when man will be brought in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will be like a buzzage. You know what buzzage is? Have you ever seen a calf? When it is born, he tries to stand up and it falls down. Again, he tries to stand up and falls down again. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, when a man will come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his legs won't be able to hold him. He will try to stand and he will drop. And then he will stand up again and then he will drop. Like a little calf, he will do this and he will do it again and again. And in reality, look how often we delude ourselves, believing that we are something special, but on the day, every man will know how special he is or you are. The biggest gangster, the biggest drug dealers, the biggest macho man, the bouncer will know their reality. They will know man when he will see his actions on. He will see his actions, he will cry until his tears dry up. Tears dry up and he will have no tears left. And then the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, he will still cry, but he will cry tears of blood. When he will see the reality, this is why Allah, this is why Prophet, peace be upon him, defined it as what? Ya wal hasra, a day where a man will have remorse. He will have remorse. Why didn't I spend my life in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He would will regret why I did not spend my life